if your kid was inappropriately touched, would they come have a conversation with you? The statistic is close to 1 in 3 women have been sexually abused or molested, either as a child, as a teenager, into their adult years. Predators can laser in and they can see when there is an unprotected child, when a child doesn't feel safe. Protecting the hearts and the minds of your children and their bodies is one of your primary roles as a father. I'm here with my beautiful bride, Jessica, and she sent this video over to me. It's pretty intense. So I did my take on it, and we have a great conversation. And then Jessica actually has a totally different perspective on how it relates. I highly recommend taking a look at her video also, which is on her channel, Rise Up Queens.
Oh, I'll share it with you. When I was in the 4th grade, I woke up in the middle of the night on a family vacation, and an older kid was on top of me.
Okay. All right.
And that had massive implications on my life.
In what way?
I was 4th grade.
Yeah.
And I was sound asleep, so I was in a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up to an older kid on top of me who was fondling me.
Okay. Here's the question I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
How did you feel when this happened?
I felt very confused and scared.
Confused and scared. Good enough. Who did you speak to about it?
No one.
Okay. Now, if something like this happened to one of your daughters was it grade 4?
Yeah.
Okay. If one of these things happened to Sawyer or Kendall in grade 4, and if they didn't talk to you, how would you explain that?
I'd feel, how would I explain it? I would explain it, and I'm about to go intellectual. I personally, as the mother, would feel heartbroken. I
understand how you'd feel, but really I'm not asking how you'd feel.
Okay, so
I'm asking how you'd explain it. Why wasn't my daughter talking to me about feeling scared and confused and violated? Why?
Because she didn't feel safe talking to me.
That's the trauma. The trauma began before that happened. Because if you had been able to talk to your parents and they would have said, this is awful, you must feel terrible, come here, let me hold you, and let's deal with the situation. So the trauma is not only in what happened, it's that you were so alone when it happened. And that aloneness was yours before this traumatic event ever occurred. As a matter of fact, abusers can tell with almost laser-like accuracy who's defended and protected and who's not, who can be victimized and who cannot. So that your primary traumatic event was not this event. Not that this wasn't traumatic. Of course it was hugely traumatic, but it became hugely traumatic because you were alone. And that sense of lack of safety and lack of protection. Furthermore, you may not even have wanted to bother your parents because they were already stressed enough already. You were protecting them. That's the primary traumatic situation.
Of course, just makes me, it makes me sad that I didn't know this sooner.
Yeah.
But I feel very grateful for your work.
Man, that breaks my heart. The statistic is close to 1 in 3 women have been sexually abused or molested, either as a child, as a teenager, into their adult years, from an uncle, from a brother, from a babysitter. It breaks my heart because this is what Satan uses. Satan uses this to make women and also men that have been sexually abused. He uses this to make them feel alone. And when they feel alone, they struggle in intimacy. They struggle in intimacy inside of their marriage. They struggle in intimacy with God. They feel broken. They feel like something's wrong with them. And what really resonated with me was that predators are able to laser in on kids. So if you're a father and you have daughters or even sons, predators can laser in and they can see when there is an unprotected child, when a child doesn't feel safe. They can tell when there is a child that is lacking the connection that they get from their father or their mother. How has this been true in your life?
100%. I mean, my dad was definitely emotionally unavailable. He never said, Jessica, you're so beautiful. How's your day going? What's going on with you? I mean, I was alone, right? There was no protection. There was never a moment like I watched you with our kids, holding them like those moments didn't happen. Yeah, my dad was on the couch. I was on a separate couch, but there was no connection. Period. The end. There still isn't. So yeah, the role of a man, especially in a woman, and I want to be available for my sons, but for a woman, if you are a man watching this, your daughter's self-esteem and her worth and her value and what she thinks is acceptable and unacceptable can be formed by you. Because if you don't form it with your words and show up for her, she's going to go and try and find it in some douchebag or not good person or through sex. And she's going to try and get her identity from all the places you more than likely do not want her getting it from, or at least from my experience, that's what I did. So you play such a critical role. And if you haven't, get on it, man, save her some pain, because for me, it created lots of bad decisions, shame, hundreds of thousands of dollars in counseling and therapy, and us working tremendously hard to create a marriage that has connection and feels safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Father, if you're watching this, it's not too late to show up for your kids, right? So if you're busy working, you're busy providing, that's one of your key roles. But protecting the hearts and the minds of your children and their bodies is one of your primary roles as a father. And so if you haven't shown up in that way, like, the time is now. And we're calling you right now to rise up, because if you're not, there's predators out there that will take advantage of your kids. And so how do we protect the hearts and the minds?
Not even that. I'm 40 years old. Man, if my dad begun to show up and even show any interest in my life, who I am, the amount of healing that would be possible. Like, I am seeking that from the Lord, and with everything in me, I don't want that from him, yet it would still make an impact on grown daughters. No matter what the age of a man, like a daughter, there is a hole in a woman's life if her dad did not show up that she tries to fill, or that I have tried to fill.
And if you're a woman watching this and your dad is not around, right, that can definitely be filled from the father. And fathers, you have a unique place in your child's hearts. And so if you're stuck, if you're struggling, if you are lacking the courage, I would say man up, but that's not always that easy. So I would challenge you to step into a new level of courage and go have a conversation with your kids and go create a safe space, right? Mel in this video, powerful woman, yet, I mean, this is something that she's never shared before that has done some damage to her. And so fathers, your role is to create, and mothers, your role is to create a safe space where your kids can bring and have these kind of conversations. Right now, if your kid was inappropriately touched, would they come have a conversation with you? Or would they think that you're too busy, or they wouldn't want to burden you, or that you're not safe? Like, would they bring that up to you? And if not, and I get it, no shame here, but how do you create the space? How do you create the space where your kid could show up, could come to you and say, hey, this happened? And so are you sharing the struggles with your kids that you've had in your past? Do you act like Superman, like nothing's ever wrong? So then when something's wrong with them, they don't want to bring it to you, right? Some of the greatest conversations I've had with my kids is sharing the things where I've messed up and I've screwed up. And they have been much more open to share the areas that they're being challenged with, whether it be a challenge with friends, emotional challenges. Like, how do we got to create that safe space for our kids?
Yeah. I mean, how do you get to their heart? We have one child that has walls and is closed and naturally doesn't let you in. And even this morning, I was saying, baby, hey, when I ask you how you're doing or how'd your day go or want to know you, it is because, like, I love you so deeply and I never want you to go through something that you cannot tell me. I had the conversation this morning. I saw this video afterwards. So then I went to his lunch. I was like, hey, babe, so why this is so important to me was because when I was your age, I drank and this happened. I didn't give him graphic details. This happened and I didn't tell anyone. And I never want you to be in that scenario.
Yeah.
Right. So then he just knows. And I'm not just like badgering him as a mom. Like, I'm not badgering him like, hey, how are you? How you doing? You know, what feels like badgering. Like, that is how, as a mom, I get to the heart of my son. He heard me, but he then knows me, right? I don't have to keep at age appropriate times. I don't know. I mean, you share everything also, but I'm not going to keep the things that I've been through from my kids for them to think that I'm perfect. At age appropriate times, they will know the mistakes I've made, in hopes that, hey, you don't have to go through this, baby. Like, we have learned the lesson, and I'm here for you.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of lessons in this video. So pick the one that resonates. And if you're new to this channel, we're going to be sharing a lot of wisdom and insights, and the things that we've learned personally and kind of work through, and the things that I've learned personally through faith, family, fitness, and finances. So if you like this video, or if you know anybody that this could benefit, or if you want to get the word out of making sure we're showing up as great fathers and protectors and providers, subscribe to the channel, share this video with people that you care about, and let's keep living lives that glorify God.